This episode is not sponsored, but we encourage you to help support the small businesses, charities, and organisations that we mention.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Our Circle. I'm Rhiannon.
And I'm Jess.
And today we're talking about Halloween. Is this coming out on Halloween? I should have checked that before we started.
I think so.
I think it's the day before, so tomorrow is Halloween.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So happy Halloween for tomorrow, everyone. I don't know if many people out there listening to this celebrate Halloween, but I just thought it'd be an interesting episode to discuss. Jess, you have a daughter who loves Halloween.
Yeah, she's weirdly obsessed. Like she's scared. Like I know that when it gets to nighttime and it's dark, she's scared and she's like starts questioning about monsters and ghosts and things like that. But as soon as it's daytime and she's like getting out she's got like these little ghost toys and wants to dress up, and yeah, she loves it. Absolutely.
It's so funny. I swear she's loved it as well since she was like 2 as well.
Really? Yeah, she was. Yeah.
I'm saying that as if she's some 13-year-old.
That was literally the other day.
She's 3. But still, I think that's quite young to already have an interest in a holiday.
Yeah, and like you ask her and it's up there. It's higher than Christmas at the moment. She loves it.
Which is kind of hilarious because most kids love Christmas because they're getting gifts.
I think for her it was the
candy.
The trick-or-treating, the getting the treats, I think. Yeah. Did you go trick-or-treating as a child?
Right. So, okay, let's talk about Halloween as a kid. So my first experience of Halloween, from my memory, I remember the first time I trick-or-treated, that was with my friend Ian, whole family. He's from America, but he lived in the UK for 2 years, I think it was. And his mum organised for a Halloween party and to take us all trick-or-treating around the block. And I'd never done that before. I'd never heard of it before. I was like, what the hell is going on? We're going to strangers' houses and knocking on their doors. That was really weird to me because especially like you're taught not to do that.
Yeah.
So that was quite strange. And I don't think anyone did trick-or-treating at that point. I think I would have been, we're talking about 1998, I think, or 1999. It wasn't really a thing in the UK from my memory, at least not around here. But I remember my auntie doing like a Halloween sort of I don't know what you want to call it. It wasn't even a party. It was just like where me, my brother, and my 2 cousins all went there. We'd dress up and have food together, like dinner together, but it'd be, I don't know, spooky themed or something.
Right.
That's my earliest memory of Halloween. What about you?
Yeah, I remember like from a young age, my mum would like do some sort of Halloween themed food like on Halloween. So she'd like yeah, like she'd, I don't know, maybe buy me like a toffee apple. Like I remember once, this is really calling my mum out because I still to this day like tease her about this.
Okay.
She just got like a margarita pizza, and she'd seen this thing where in this book where they get black icing and just do like a spider web on the pizza. But it was sweet icing on a margarita pizza. It was absolutely disgusting.
And I still remember it was vile as a child as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's improved at all, but it was disgusting flavor. It was the worst flavor.
Yeah, so that was just a bit of a fail. But like, I don't know, I guess having Mila now is making me really rethink trick-or-treating, for example. Like it's really made me think, is that something I want to send my child to do or go with her to do? I don't like you were saying, you're always taught to like don't take candy from a stranger, right? But you're then going to people's houses and taking it.
Yeah.
But also it just feels like slightly
beggy
and weird
as well.
Oh yeah, COVID's like definitely played a part in it. I think I would only do trick-or-treating with Mila if, like you said you did with Ian's family, where it's almost organized. So it's like a street and everyone's in on it, and you know that those who have got like their pumpkins outside their house and they've got their decorations and want to be part of it will open the door and they'll do something fun for the kids. But I don't think I went trick-or-treating as a child. I don't think I'd go like around like a town and sort of knock on people's doors that I don't particularly know if they really want to partake in it.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, over the years we would put a pumpkin outside and we'd get candy in for people, so that if we did, and we used to get a lot of people knocking and we didn't know any of them. But then over the most recent years, I think my parents were like, actually, this is weird. Like, we're not going to do this. So like, we won't put a pumpkin outside. We'll turn the lights off. And it sounds really sad, but like, it's not. It's weird. It's weird. You don't know what kind of person you're going to get at your door, especially when like they're not really kids. Like when some
and
of
they're
them
all
like,
wearing masks, and you're kind of like,
yeah,
hang
no,
on, you're a bit too old for this.
yeah, literally. And that then made me think, okay, when did I suppose Halloween has different phases for different ages and stuff. So I guess trick-or-treating is definitely to me a kid thing, which again sounds fucking weird saying that. Like, oh, trick-or-treating where, knocking on strangers' doors, that's for kids. Like, that shouldn't be for anyone.
Yeah.
But I agree though with the whole organized thing. I think that's a bit more fun, isn't it? And that's cute. I don't have any problem with that. But when I guess you get to teenage years, that's I feel like when the slut phase comes in.
Love it. I felt like it was just another excuse to have someone to have a party and everyone to go and get drunk, right? And also you're then going from this reminds me of Mean Girls, where Katie turns up to the party and she's in this like gothic bride, and everyone else is in like sexy outfits. Yeah, there's that transition, isn't it, between you're dressing up as a witch one year to like slutty witch with like ripped open and just like
it's so weird. You're right, it is. It's like that transition period. It's strange.
I wonder when that happened. It must have been like just 1 year, just everyone just was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose maybe it's the same year that you stop playing with your Barbie dolls or something. You know what I mean? It's there's a moment where you stop being a kid, which is quite sad in some ways. But yeah, I think Halloween as a teenager, you're looking at it as this is where I'm gonna get dressed up with my best friends. We're all going to make out with people and drink while the parents aren't around. But I mean, I think it's kind of a rite of passage in some ways, isn't it? For not everyone does, but I think at that age, that is definitely what's happening.
I think that's still carried on for me anyways. In my experience, it carried on into the first year of uni, maybe.
Okay, well, as in Halloween?
Yeah, well, like the slutty stage. I felt like second year, something happened in me that my friends and I wonder if I can get up the picture. I don't know if you would have remembered this at all. You weren't there, but, I would have told you about it. Our friends were just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this is just fun. This is a fun, we don't need to be like wearing push-up bras and like all, everything being open. Like, it's just fun. Why don't we just dress up? We dressed up as pumpkins and we just painted our faces orange and like did all the like decorations, wore like these huge like orange things and went to a club, and we just had so much fun because we didn't care what we looked like. So it kind of we almost regressed. So we went from like child to slutty back to kind of child fun. And that was a really fun Halloween because it was like, we weren't going out to pull or anything like that. We were just going to have fun and still get drunk. So I guess there was that kind of more adult element in it.
But I don't even think it's regressing. I think it's almost maturing. You get to a point where you're like, no, I'm actually so comfortable. I don't need to be showing off whatever. And not that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to carry on doing that, by all means, show what you got, hon. I feel like you get to a point where you're like, I'm not taking myself that seriously anymore. Like, I don't need to do that. Why not dress as a pumpkin? Or you dressed up as Fiona from Shrek, didn't you? One time. Like and I also think when it gets to uni, Halloween becomes like just the theme of all socials, just fancy dress, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah. And how do you feel about fancy dress, in particular for Halloween? Like, I feel like it's all or nothing. Like, I feel like you should go all out. You should give it your best, because you have those odd ones who think they can get away with sort of Superman top under a shirt, and you're like, no, go home. Like, that's not good enough.
So like some people hate fancy dress. I don't. I haven't got a problem with it. But if I'm thinking about it, though, it's been years since I've done a fancy dress thing.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, maybe we should bring that back. No, I love it. I think it's always been fun. I think maybe I might have had a little bit more distaste to it or dislike to it, maybe because of just money when I was younger. Like, I wouldn't have had the money to be able to go and get outfits and stuff, maybe.
I agree.
So that might have played into it. But yeah, no, I'm all for it. And I think the UK do Halloween fancy dress differently to the rest of the world. I think the UK think it has to be scary, everything gory, everything zombified. Maybe it's starting to change, but at least that's what my experience was for so many years. And it's like, no, it just means dress up. Like it's just anything, just dress up.
My experience was you wear whatever fancy dress you got and just
Make
add
it
fake
slutty.
blood.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah,
fine.
exactly. I remember one time, me and one of our best friends, Liv, we literally wore our school uniform ripped up with blood all over it. It's quite morbid.
Ta-da!
Yeah, exactly. And it was
Zombie
just a bit,
schoolgirls.
yeah, literally. So I feel like the transition and journey of Halloween throughout the lifetime is quite interesting. I wonder where it will evolve to after. But I was just
I think, sorry, before we
go
move
for it.
on, I don't personally have TikTok myself, but I know that you have. And I feel
Yeah.
like because of TikTok, I feel like people might get a bit better at like being creative, especially on a budget. So like you said, like if you're a
Right.
student and you don't have very much money to go to like a party shop and actually buy a full-on costume,
Mm-hmm.
people could get a bit more creative because they'll have ideas on TikTok.
You're right. And also throwing a blast to the past, you and I did a vlog on my YouTube channel a few years ago where we were testing out Halloween Poundland
Oh my
makeup. Do you remember?
gosh, yeah, I remember that. I completely forgot.
And that's all about on a budget as well.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like now the place that I got to after that, I think I would be very much. It's not even a regression again. It's just I'm happy for it to develop back to fancy dress parties and all that sort of stuff. But I think after uni, it became like a dinner party sort of thing. So I got really into Day of the Dead, and I still really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I also want to quickly put this out there right now that we're not dismissing the cultural significance here. We're not treating it as like oh, we're just jumping on this because it's a holiday. We actually really related to the meaning behind Day of the Dead. And I think, again, for me, with my anxiety around death, it actually really helped me feel better about it. And I think there's controversy around the films that have come out recently or over the last 10 years around Day of the Dead. So The Book of Life and Coco, the Disney film. I think that they're beautiful films and they really made me understand that holiday more. And for anyone actually who doesn't know what Day of the Dead is, it's around the same time as Halloween, but it's a Mexican holiday / celebration, I guess you could, or a day that's observed to celebrate those who have passed away. And I think it's a beautiful concept, the idea of that you don't just disappear when you pass away. You go to the afterlife, or you go to a place somewhere else, and one day every year you reconnect with people in this world, sort of thing. And I just think it's very, very beautiful. I think it's a great excuse to have tequila and stuff like that, but just like just like getting together. And one of our friends who you've all heard on our podcast, Chloe, when her mother passed away quite a few years ago now, and it was something that she obviously has struggled with, and it's a hard thing to process. And it was something that when we recognized that this holiday actually might help her feel closer to her mum, and it became something that we enjoyed doing as well together. So it's almost like a
tradition.
It's tradition.
Yeah, and it brings comfort. And can I ask, what were the controversies around those films?
It's just the fact that people are just jumping on a cultural thing and claiming it, being like, oh yay, another thing that we can have, you know what I mean, as opposed to actually understanding the significance of it. And
I definitely found them I've seen Coco, and I found it, I know it's a Disney film, but I found it actually quite informative, like the way that
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I actually didn't see it as something like, oh, I must jump on that holiday. I found that it was something that I don't know, I guess you can try and relate to in a way, and respect the cultural holiday. I really enjoyed it, so I definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen Coco, please do go and watch it, because it's beautiful. We did it at your house, didn't we? We did that on one year when we did Day of the Dead. We watched Coco and celebrated.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of makes me think of other holidays that maybe aren't within your own culture, but you either observe or you would like to partake in, or that you do actually celebrate. I've got a bunch listed here, and I think quite a lot, at least in the UK, are based around the Christian faith, I guess. But there are a lot of other things as well. So obviously there's Christmas, there's Easter, there's Valentine's Day, my favorite, Galentine's Day. You've got things like Hanukkah, Eid, Diwali, you've got New Year's, you've got the Lunar New Year, St. Patrick's Day seems to be a really big one as well. There's so many. So I wondered, what holidays do you enjoy celebrating? Have you got any favorites, least favorites? Take it away.
See, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer about it, but last year we were talking about Christmas. In hindsight, I felt that it didn't seem as magical getting older. So I feel like maybe I'll regain that feeling with Mila as I'm watching her grow and enjoy it. But yeah, that one, not so magical anymore. That was definitely up there. That was definitely my top one growing up. I think it was the whole experience, like going to my grandparents. They lived in this gorgeous vicarage, and it was all lit up with lights, and it was just kind of that memory of like, oh my gosh, Santa's coming, that anticipation. That was so much fun. Now I guess I feel like I'm experiencing all these holidays again through a child's eyes. So if where Easter wasn't really that massive for us, like just doing little things like an Easter egg hunt or something like that, and seeing how much joy it brings Mila is really lovely. And I suppose the whole premise of all of these holidays is to bring people together, which has been difficult to actually try and experience the past few years because we've not been allowed to be together. So I feel like I'm hoping in the next few years that will come when we're able to people feel more comfortable and are able to do that a bit more.
Do you know what I really love that you just said there is that the whole premise of these holidays are to come together, because so many people, and I do understand their point of view too, but so many people be like, it's just a commercial capitalist scheme sort of thing. And I get it.
Everyone wants money out of us.
And it's true that you can't deny that there are so many things in the stores at the moment for every type of holiday. Like every week there's a seasonal section, there's a seasonal aisle based around whatever holiday is relevant. But I think that's just kind of just life, isn't it?
Yeah, just walk on by. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to buy it. It's fine.
So Christmas, not so much a favorite for you?
No, I don't. I just feel like there's a lot of stress that comes with it.
Right.
I don't know, as being an organizer, and now I feel like I'm got my own family, so I have to, think ahead and think for multiple people. And before it was just so easy, just turn up, someone's cooking for you.
Rattle the presents to try and guess what they are.
Literally my job would be growing up is putting people's presents in their place. Like that was my job every year, was like, okay, go and get them from under the tree and put them where people usually sit to open them. That was all I had to do. Like I literally didn't lift a finger. So it's been quite a rude awakening the past couple of years.
What about things like Valentine's Day? How do you feel about that holiday?
I like celebrating it, but it's not the be all and end all. Like I quite enjoy just like a little a card. I quite like a card with a nice message in it. And I like a meal, like just doing a meal at home. It always has to have food involved.
I like a meal, and I like some words of affirmation, please.
I just think a card, the message inside is just, I don't know, conveying and reaffirming how someone feels about you. But I'm not the type to be like, right, I need a meal reservation. We need to be there. We need to, if Joe was working on Valentine's Day, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. We'll celebrate it tomorrow or do something another time to sort of just mark the occasion. But I think it's just one of those things, these holidays, like I said, it's just the excuse to do something nice. Like it's just, why not? Why is that? I don't see that as something to be frowned upon. It's just nice.
I agree. Are there any holidays that you think should be removed, like chuck them in the bin?
Bonfire night?
Oh my god, yes.
That's a load of bullshit. It's
that's by the way, because I don't think that's a global thing, right? That's just
I think it's because of Guy Fawkes, isn't it? He tried to blow up Parliament.
So if anyone didn't know, in the UK on the 5th of November, remember the 5th of November,
with gunpowder, treason and plot.
Yes. It's basically a story about some dude who tried to blow up Parliament, and therefore we blow up fireworks.
We blow up
And
the sky and we terrified pets and children and all sorts.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I feel bad because it's on one of our best friends' birthdays, but like I hate that. I like that day for her birthday,
Exactly. Let's
not for.
celebrate that. Let's not celebrate, I don't know, whatever it is,
It's
like
so bad for the environment. I've seen so many videos of what like empty streets look like because they're all looking at some sort of fireworks display, and then you see what's actually happening below. And it's all these like animals, like birds that were in the sky that have been hit, and it's basically like a shooting range, really, because of fireworks. Oh, I think it's disgusting. I can't stand it.
Yeah, they just don't know what's going on, and it's just really, loud noises. And it's not just animals, like
I don't like
people
it.
can get really triggered by loud
They
sounds.
don't
Like,
sound normal for a start. They sound
yeah,
like guns and bombs from, or at
yeah,
least what, obviously I'm lucky and privileged enough to have never experienced those sounds,
yeah,
but they are what I imagine could be very triggering and similar,
100%. That makes me think, actually, this year, if we were to still, we currently have refugees in our country who are fleeing war. What are they gonna feel like if
Why,
they've fled that and they've just got,
well, I wonder what refugees
bangs in
that
the
we've had
sky?
for years have felt like towards
Yeah,
that holiday,
I
because
mean, that's what I mean. Any refugee who's experienced that.
on a yearly basis, like each, again, that's the thing, it's a yearly thing, but on one night, that's quite, well, I say one night, people tend to do it now for several nights, don't they? But
Yeah, I think
it must be
Diwali's
very strange
around a
if you don't
similar time
know.
as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it must be very strange if you don't know that 5th of November is that designated day,
yeah,
so each year being like, oh my gosh, it's happening again, like that's
yeah,
so strange.
yeah.
It's a very weird holiday. I don't
Sorry
like
if you
it.
really enjoy it. Like, we're just putting a dampener on it, but I just
Well,
feel,
I hope that
yeah,
you see it from our point of view. Like, I really do, because like I get the other point of view. Fun, pretty lights. That's about it, right? Bonfire, cool, marshmallows around a fire. To me, I'm just like, you're burning things, you're putting bad shit in the air, you're making the environment bad, you're making people nervous, you're making pets anxious. Stop this. Okay, I definitely don't like that. I feel like there's a few that can probably be binned as well. Things that have absolutely fallen on deaf ears, like for things like in America, like Independence Day and stuff, or Thanksgiving, where it's based on slaughtering other people, other nations, things like that. Just cultural significance that has just been completely turned a blind eye to. And I think now more people are starting to celebrate things like Juneteenth, which is more recognized as an actual day of independence for Black people in America. Things like that. I feel like like you were saying about Coco, it's like the education part of things. It's not holidays don't need to be about what's called appropriation. It can be about
yeah,
appreciation and
yeah,
education. I really like that side of holidays. I really
yeah.
like the learning side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the main one just for me though is just bonfire night. I'm like, bin it, get rid of that.
Yeah, unnecessary.
Do you think that anything should be made into a holiday more? Like this sounds a bit, no, it doesn't sound weird. I feel like International Women's Day should become a public holiday.
It's weird because International Women's Day is a bigger deal in other European countries than it is in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, in Ukraine, it's a big deal. It's almost the equivalent to Mother's Day, but like everyone wishes each other, like each.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a really, you gift each other flowers. It's
oh.
yeah. So I feel like it's just a UK thing, that it's not as big a deal, but
Of
hopefully as
course.
the years go on, it will become a bigger deal.
That makes me wonder actually so I remember on one International Women's Day, I had a friend message me, and he's not from the UK, and he messaged me and all of our, like, a friend from uni, he messaged all of the girls, basically sending us each like a little, almost like a paragraph of like appreciation to us.
Oh.
It was so lovely. I was brought to tears, and I wonder actually if that's because he recognized that it's a bigger deal, like where it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone wake up. March 8th. Everyone is gifting flowers, please.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think I love that day so much. I always feel so empowered and strong. It's one day of the year where I'm like, I feel so proud to be a woman. I feel so proud to know women and be raised by women, and you know, all that. It's just such a like uplifting day for me. So I would like the day off.
Well, if we're talking about days off, let's come up with some more holidays.
I know. Well, you know, like when they say, "Oh, it's national." Like today, you said today's National Guacamole Day, the day that we're recording this. There's so many national days or things like that,
Yeah.
or international. Do you reckon any of those need to be
Public holidays? Oh, I can't think of anything that should be a public holiday, but I feel like maybe we should be like gifted stuff, like at work. like today we should be sent like guacamole packs at home or something, like an avocado.
It's an avocado pip.
Yeah. Anyone else, if you've got any ideas on some national holidays that should be bigger, let us know.
Please let us know as well what your favorite holidays are and how you like to spend Halloween. Do you even observe it, or is it just like another thing that you couldn't care less about?
Yeah.
Care less about? Couldn't care. I always get, this is one of those hills to die on. I always forget which one it's meant to be.
I think couldn't care less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today's episode is dedicated to a UK board game publisher who goes by Trolls and Rerolls. This is a friend of mine who has this awesome board game company that's going to be relaunching on Kickstarter soon. So if you visit on their Instagram, which is Trolls and Rerolls, the links are in the description, and you'll be able to see how you can help support this relaunch, how you can donate, how you can get involved, and how you can be a part of this cool game. So please visit at Trolls and Rerolls on Instagram.
Thanks everyone for listening. I hope that you have a great Halloween if you are celebrating. If not, happy Monday or happy Sunday. Please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all those great things, and we'll see you for our next episode. Bye.
Bye.